So today, the cat, he met his mortal enemy. Not really, he has a worse enemy than this one. But my cat doesn't really like other cats. And there's this really cute cat named Leo who lives next door. My cat hates Leo. And Leo is so cute. Leo is a little orange cat. And he's a young cat, so I feel like he really looks up to Longcat, and he really wants to be Longcat's friend, and Longcat is not having it. So Leo jumped onto the windowsill today, and Longcat was having a fit for other reasons. He was asking for like 17th dinner today. He really wanted more dinner. He had already been fed, but he wanted more. So he didn't even notice that his arch nemesis was there. Um, so it took him a minute to notice that that his little rival was on his windowsill. Um, Maybe that's a little too big. That's kind of pretty though. I kind of want to put it somewhere. Let's put it here and then we can move it if we want later on. So once Longcat noticed that his rival was in the window, he started hissing. And poor Leo, he's trying to impress Longcat so desperately that he was like very half-heartedly hissing as well. But like you could tell his heart wasn't in it. He like really didn't want to be hissing at Longcat. So he was like his hiss was so quiet and like just like I really don't want to do this kind of a hiss. But he was trying to impress Longcat. So he had to hiss. And Longcat was completely unimpressed. Poor Leo. But I'm not gonna force them to be friends. I'm not gonna force my cat to be friends with an outside cat. Leo's not an outside cat. He just goes outside, which Longcat doesn't really do ever since the accident. Oh, poor Longcat. At one point he did have cat friends, but one of his cat friends was kind of a mean cat, and she bit him on the base of his tail. And I saw it happen, and I was like, oh my god, are you okay? My poor kitty. And he seemed okay, but then the next day I came home, and he couldn't move his tail, and he was crying. So I rushed to the vet with him, and he had to get his tail shaved, and he had to wear a cone for a month. Oh my god, I'm talking about it, and he's looking so indignant right now. And I had to have him like 3 courses of antibiotics, different things like topical, like a pill I had to feed him, this ointment. It was awful. And so just ever since that happened, he does not go outside. And it was really sad because that cat got run over 2 weeks later, which is horrible. Like, I was really upset with that cat for biting my kitty, but obviously I didn't want it to die. It was awful. So that was like a really sad time. But yeah, that's the reason why Longcat doesn't go outside. But one time, this was when his tail was bandaged, and I woke up and I was like half asleep, and I saw this tail. I'm really blind, I didn't have my glasses on. I saw his tail laying there, and for half a second I thought that his tail had fallen off. But it was the bandage. The bandage had slipped off and was laying in bed next to me. And like for half a second I thought it was the cat's tail, and I nearly jumped out of my skin. It was so scary. But yeah, that is the story of Longcat and his accident, which wasn't an accident. It was a bad cat who did it. So I don't blame him for not liking cats, you know. The one thing that it said in his paperwork when I adopted him was hisses at other cats. That was literally the only thing, and it said he was 6 years old. But later on, when I took him to the vet, I asked, around how old do you think he is? And the vet said, oh, he's about 3 years old. And it was interesting because at that point I'd already had him for like 2 years. So when I got him, he was a baby. He was like a year old. And that's kind of odd because usually they would make cats appear younger because it's easier to adopt out younger animals. And one of the reasons I kind of got Long Cat was I thought he was older, and I was thinking he would have less of a chance of getting adopted. But I was so happy to find out that he was a younger cat because that means I get to have him for longer. And I love that. So now I think he's around, I think 5 or 6, maybe. But I don't know for sure. Because I don't know when he was born. I was not there at the birth of Long Cat. Despite people thinking I'm his mother, I am not. I really don't think about him in that kind of a way. I don't think about him being a baby. Sometimes I say my baby, but it's kind of a joke. I think there's a huge difference in having a child and an animal, having a pet. I think of him more of like as a companion. You know how Doctor Who has traveling companions? That's how I think of the cat. I think of him as like my little traveling companion.